Using Cyclone to create an animation, there are several techniques, several different methods you can use, different ways to set everything up. What I like to do is determine the route I want to take through the site, how I want things to be oriented, and then place my cameras as I go. What I'm going to do to start this process is in a top-down view, I'm going to begin with my multi-point pick, setting pick locations at least 10 feet apart. Cycling in the direction that I want the animation to go. Once my points are placed, from the Create Object menu, from Pick Points, I'll create a polyline. My polyline should be snapped around. What I want to do is I want to use this as the reference of my path. And what I want to do is raise this about 6 feet off the ground. I'm going to rotate my object. Direction of the move be on a standard axis. I'm going to go in an up direction. My distance will be a custom distance. I'll go 6 feet. Now when I hit move, my polyline is raised 6 feet above ground. I'm going to switch the view to a perspective view, and I'm going to do my seek on the first point of the polyline. I'll determine the direction I want to look, and then from my insert object, I'm going to insert a camera. What you'll see is my camera has been placed based on that location and the direction of my travel. Keep that process going through every point that I pick, setting the direction for each one. Again, I'm just using my polyline here as a kind of as a guide. Once you've placed in all of your camera locations, what I'd like to do is I'd like to hide the point cloud so that I can see the cameras and I can see. Using the multi-point pick, I actually want to pick the cameras, get them all inserted, and then create the path. Pick cameras, the then once all selected from the Tools menu in Animation, create a path. At this point, we can go back and we can delete our original polyline. There's no real reason to keep it turned on or keep it in here. So we have our path set. We can manipulate the path by clicking on it, and any of the vertices can be moved or adjusted as needed to give us the desired, the correct path that we need for our animation. Once we've made the changes that we want, or the edits to the path, we want to set path. Once the path has been set, you go into the animation editor. You'll see we have 21 keyframes. What I want to do is advance to the last one. I want to insert frames, smooth transition in between those. So I'm going to add 315 keyframes, keeping it at 15 frames a second. We'll set that in there. Okay. Then what we can do is we can animate this now. I'm going to use the defaults just to show, give me an idea of what the animation would look like. I can make the determination if this is going too quickly, maybe I want to add frames. Once we've made the adjustments and we have the speed going at the pace we want, we can turn our point cloud, any three-dimensional objects we created, anything back on. You can also go in here and tell it to turn off the spline or spine loop and the cameras. That way those objects don't show up in our video. Back to animation, animate to a video file. Give it a name and a location, number of frames per second. I'm going to run this at 15 frames per second. And since I'm going to a file, I'm going to go to a Microsoft Video, and I'm going to compress with 75% compression quality, and I'll say OK and let it render the video. Once the animation process is completed, the AVI is stored where we put it. We can now click the play to see the animation.